A good example is because we actually both believe that there is really no such thing as a soulmate. We don't believe that there really is like a specific one, but our reasons are different. My reason, I feel like, is more of a logical one, where it's more of because how humans are created and how life is created, and the souls are like someone's soul might because like if there was a soulmate in reality, if I'm thinking about this logically, my soulmate might be 80 years old in West Guam right now and could be dying, right? And then their soul has to be reborn, and then their soulmate is not the same soulmate as me, or there could be multiple soulmates for different people. If you think about it, because there's so many people in this world, there's so many life forms in this world, right? The soul, if the soul is something that number one is like a real thing that actually can manifest within living organisms, there is that possibility that if that was true and the soulmate like actually moves on through other living organisms, my soulmate could be a tree.
Okay.
But like that's how I think about it. He thinks about it. I wouldn't say similarly, but like that's just because I like to go complex in my understanding and my reasoning. Because soulmates, how I see them, I feel like there are good ones and then there are bad ones, and you want to find the good one.
Match.
Yeah, you want to find the good one that is compatible and that desires you and you desire them, and you want to find one that complements your life, and that's what I go for. That's what I think about. I don't really think about it as like, because how I think about soulmate is, if I think about it as a soulmate, then I think about one, right? But if you have one, then that's scarcity, and we've been talking about before about scarcity mindsets. If I think about that there might be multiple ones, then there's options, and I don't have to worry about finding the specific one, because that's overwhelming. There's 7 billion people in the world. I think even 8 billion now.
Yeah, I think
right?
so.
Trying to find one out of 8 billion is mind-blowing.
Yeah, no.
But if there are multiple good and bad ones, well, clearly there's a lot of bad ones, but if you can find the handful of good ones and pick out and cherry pick the one that is actually the one that you're supposed to be with, right? Then it makes things a lot easier. It makes the thinking about it less, not only complicated, but less stressful. And you can do the things that you want to do well, especially do the things you want to do, the things that make you happy, but find someone that's complementary to your life, something that gives you value, and that you can give value back, and you can create a relationship in that way where value is transferred between both parties in a way that's positive. And so I believe I even said that in my vows that I don't believe in soulmates, but I believe that she was the one that was specifically cherry picked from me, that I feel that was, out of anybody, that was going to be the best bet.
Okay.
And I feel that she was the one that is the one that can give the best value, and where I believe that I can give back the same value and even more.
Okay.
To create a relationship that's worth having.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. I like that. But you're happy.
Oh, 100%. And what's funny, you want to know something funny? Because we talked about a lot of your stuff, and you don't really know much about mine, is that she chased me.
Okay.
She chased for me.
That's fucking beautiful.
For a long time.
Andrew's over here. He's like, yeah.
And for a long time too, because I was going through what I like to call the big metamorphosis of my life. I was in a rough patch, super rough, mindset wise, everything. I was not in a good place, and I was figuring myself out. I was going through self discovery, dealing with a lot of shit, trying to get myself in a positive way, trying to get myself into do a hard reset on like my mindset, hard reset on like the way that I think, and pretty much on that journey, that's when her and I started talking and everything, and things started happening. But I didn't want to just jump in. I couldn't let myself jump in, because if I did, then I might ruin something, or I might my mind might not be ready for it yet, and so I need to give it time. I need to make sure that what I'm doing here is exactly the way it needs to be. I need to ensure that this goes right, because she literally would give me the world if she could. She could literally give me the entire universe. That's what she would want to do. And she generally desires me, generally wants to make sure that I'm happy, and I want to make her happy. Right. But at the same time, I couldn't let myself jump in without making sure that I was still in the good spot. Because if I wasn't in a good spot still, then there was the possibility that I would self-destruct the entire thing. Okay. And so if I couldn't let that happen, I didn't want that to happen, because I don't deserve that, and definitely neither does she. Right. So I wanted to make sure that I was in a good spot first. I wanted to make sure that I was in the right mindset, because no matter what, regardless of how my mindset was, it was the right decision for me to do that. But if I did it too early,
you as a person,
it wouldn't have worked the same. Nothing would have worked the same way as if I waited. And so I waited 7, I think it was like 7, 8 months, maybe a year. Okay. I think it was like almost a year or a little over.